Hello and welcome to the Guitar Hang Podcast. I'm your host, John Stankorb. If you're a guitar lover, you're in the right place. We're deep into Season 7, and today's guest is an absolute shredder, a world-class guitarist, an amazing vocalist and songwriter, as well as a powerhouse performer, none other than Orianthi. You know her from her work with Michael Jackson, Alice Cooper, Steve Vai, and Santana, as well as her incredible solo career. With her blistering solos, soulful phrasing, and rockstar energy, she's cemented herself as one of the most electrifying guitarists on the planet. Today we're talking with her about her journey from jamming with Santana as a teenager to playing with Steve Vai, playing stadiums with legends, and her approach to tone and technique, and of course, her latest music. You don't want to miss this one, but before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell, and if you're enjoying the podcast, drop a like and a comment. It really helps spread the word. You can also follow us on Instagram and YouTube. All right, grab your favorite guitar, crank up the volume, and let's hang with Orianthi. Thanks for being part of the show. We had your good friend Steve Vai on about 10 days ago.
He's awesome. He's like an uncle to me. I've known him since I was like 14. Yeah. So that was pretty scary. That was one of my first supports, was opening for Steve, and not easy to get up there, before he gets on stage. He's like I call him like the Bowie and of guitar, like Hendrix of he's like the Hendrix of our age, because the way that he's such an innovator and everything he does is incredible. It's just
right.
Not bad, but his choice of notes and melodies and everything and songs. What an amazing artist, truly.
Yeah, and I could see the attraction why he would want to have somebody like you open for him, because he's attracted to folks that have a unique vision or direction that's all their own, that's kind of their own thing, and kind of somebody that kind of stands out from the crowd. So that seems like it would make a great fit, and it's, even though it might be a baptism of fire to go in front of his audience, by the end of that tour, I'm sure that there was a whole new group of people that could love you both equally,
it truly, I remember getting up on stage and I had a backing track, with me, and no band or anything like that, and 14 years old, and these guys with their arms folded, like, what's going on here? But, the thing is, I love music so much, and I've been obsessed with playing the guitar since I was really young, and there's no sort of plan. I love it so much. And I think that when you just play from your heart and you mean it, that connects with people, Yeah.
Are you from a musical family? Do you have family and friends, and were you surrounded by music, or was it an isolated pursuit for you?
Absolutely. My father is a guitar player, so that's why I play guitar, really, because he had them all around the home, and he just looks so cool. And when he was playing Hendrix in the living room, I would be like, oh my God, I want to join on that. It's so fun. And B.B. King and Santana and everything. And my dad's a great guitar player. So I actually started playing left-handed first, because he's left-handed. So then he's like, no, you have more choice in guitars if you learn right-handed, which is the truth. So and I studied classical, and I was in an orchestra. I did a lot of stuff, 3 cover bands before, really, stepping out and getting management and all that kind of stuff, and worked the pubs in Australia and whatnot. So, it was crazy, but it was a time where you sort of like really learn who you are and find your sound and all that kind of stuff. So, but I'm very grateful to my dad and my mother for backing me up on this crazy vision that I had as a, young kid. Oh, I want to move to America and, be a guitar player, but actually artist, because I started writing songs when I was 6 years old. So it was more like singing and writing songs first, and strumming, and then learning how to play leads and whatnot came kind of later, which is funny because a lot of people just think that I, started like playing guitar like first and shredding it. No, it's not. It was more like I listened to the Beatles, Roy Orbison, Elvis, learned how to write songs, and then it was, listening to B.B. King or Santana or Jimi Hendrix and going like, oh, like they hit one note and you're like, man, like that's incredible. I want to be able to do something like that. And just finding your sound is the biggest thing, just sitting alone with your guitar. And I never fully like, feel like I've, gotten to a place where there's just so much searching to do, the guitar's such an intimidating, incredible instrument. You look at it and you play it and there's like so much stuff to learn, and you forever sort of feel like a student of the guitar because it's like this very cool instrument. So I just want to continue to make records and search. That's the plan.
Yeah, the great thing at a young age, you just discovered that you wanted to be an artist, and you came through the route of playing or learning songs from great songwriters and trying to develop a vision for what you wanted to do. And it's really easy for guitar players to be so obsessed with guitar players that they want to learn everything about guitar. And it's a very guitar centric thing, but they don't make it to the realm of writing their own songs, creating from a place of writing lyrics or melodies or being inspired every bit as much by songwriters, singers, that really, there's something about being a songwriter who's also a great guitar player. It informs your playing in a way that perhaps you couldn't get to if you were just focused on the guitar itself.
It's all about the songs, it really is. And, memorable riffs, playing one note that means something, it's all about that. It's, I've been in situations where people are like, I want you to shred and, and it's funny because it's like a long time ago, I'd be called in for sessions like, we just want a shredding guitar solo, whatever, on our record. I'm like, okay, I'm not really that kind of player, and I was sort of forced into that in a way, even when I got the Michael Jackson gig, I wasn't like, I hadn't learned the beat it solo prior to that, you know what I mean? So it was kind of like I had to learn it and sort of step into that realm, which is kind of like jumping into the deep end, the ocean, and sort of seeing if you can swim and do it. And it was a challenge, and it was, I like challenges, and that was really cool to be able to do something like that. And it was awesome. But yeah, I think that it all comes down to the song, comes down to melodies, it comes down to memorable things, and just things that make people feel something. I think that's what music's all about. So.
And you were writing songs first when you were young. I mean, that was one of the first things that you had a knack for, was melodies and lyrics and putting together your own tunes. Is that one of the first things?
Yeah, I wrote my first song when I was 6 years old. So I was in front of the school, and I had love it. It was actually played on Oprah. I was on the Oprah show like quite some time ago, but they played it. My mother found the video and she said it was so embarrassing. But I had like my friends as like the background dancers, and it was called Spin Your Jackets Around, and I had everyone taking off their blazers because I hated these blazers at this college I went to. So I'm like, I wanted them to take them off. So I was like, I got them to like take the jackets off and spin them around. And it was kind of like this thing where I was just, that was the first song I wrote. And then, yeah, I just kept on writing. And my dad, he taught me like three chords, and I went, running with those 3 chords, and just molded songs with them and learned more. And then vibrato, all that kind of stuff came later because, he put on BB King, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I want to learn how to do that. That took me forever to get my vibrato down. But well, tough. And then I was studying classical for a while in theory. I went to Tafe University when I was like 10 years old, and I was like the youngest there, which was weird. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I learned theory. I learned how to sight read and all that kind of stuff. It gave me a headache. That's when I started getting really bad headaches. So I was like, okay, this is not for me. No, it's just for some people, they want to know everything. I wanted to know so much about the instrument, which is good, but then you kind of want to discover it. Like a lot of blues players, it's like to know all the theory and whatnot, and it's just about feeling. And so I'm kind of right in the middle. Like I like to know kind of what I'm doing and kind of not what I'm doing, So
yeah, it's enough, you know enough of the theory to be problem solving when you're trying to put things together or orchestrate things. but in the end, it's all about, the feel of things. And that's what strikes me about your playing is that your phrasing and the way that it interacts with your vocal phrasing, it really, they very much complements each other. And that's I really enjoy players that come from that thing of singing and playing, because it informs your just the way that you phrase and the way that the things that you have to say on the guitar, because you want to play things that have intensity, but at the same time it's leaving space, and those spaces are really powerful. So it's nice to hear somebody that has such a command vocally and the guitar. It's a beautiful
Oh, thank you so much. And it's all about balance and trying to not. It's funny because before I was like always filling the gaps with the guitar part, all the time. And I was like, this new record, there's more space. There's kind of, more about like the lyric, and then the guitars come in, but they're all kind of laid and textured. And it's kind of a pretty eclectic sort of bunch of songs, because some of it's really bluesy and rock, and then some kind of leans towards country rock, and then soul. But it all makes sense in the end.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah. Ghost is a little bit more atmospheric in spots.
Yeah, and I self-produced part of this record, and then Kevin Shirley, who's incredible, he produced the rest. And I love working with Kevin because he just knows exactly, what he wants to hear, and that's really awesome for me, like to work with someone like that. And it's a real honor. It really is. He's done so many incredible records, and he's a lot of fun in the studio, and everyone just gets along with my band. And it's just good. It's good vibes. I think everything comes down to the vibes, and you don't want to be around anything that drains. You want to be around the lights and everyone that wants the best for everything and moving forward, and just creating something that when people hear it, they feel that energy. I'm really proud of this record, so I can't wait for it to come out. I don't have a release date of when it's coming out, but I do know that the next single is going to come out soon because I want it to. So yeah.
Can you divulge what the title of the next single that's coming out, or that you don't?
There's 2 songs that I really like. So we're gonna make that decision in the next couple of days.
Okay, awesome. So when did you start the work on Some Kind of Feeling?
I don't even know. I don't know. I can't remember. It's been a crazy few years, honestly, with the touring. And I just got back from Australia and Saudi Arabia, and then I felt terrible because I'm recovering from a slightly torn hamstring and hip. I don't know. I had to cancel some Alice Cooper dates, which I felt terrible, really terrible about. But I felt this terrible pain, and I was like, and I don't know, holding the guitar for 2 hours a night and not being able to move around. And I called Alice actually from when I was in Saudi Arabia, and I said, I'm in a lot of pain. I'm not too sure what's going on. So I gave him a heads up, and I said, I don't know. And I know what's happening. Obviously I couldn't go see a doctor there. So when I got back, they were like, oh, you can't really do this. So I was like, man, I've never canceled anything before. So it weighed heavy on me. But now I'm feeling better and all of that. So it's good because I'm playing this show at the end of the month to raise some money for the fires with Sammy Hagar and a bunch of people. And I really want to be able to stand up and do that because playing the 40th anniversary for PRS sitting down on a chair, it was so bad. I was like, man, like this is so embarrassing. And I'm like in a tracksuit and playing with Danny from The Warning. She's awesome. But I was like, we played Back in Black. You should never play Back in Black sitting down. That was really
yeah.
Like,
The fans were with you, and there's much love, so they completely,
No, it was just like weird because they didn't show me walking out. So if my mother saw it, she goes, did they like wheel you out? Like you just appeared on a chair. Like it was really weird. That was some weird shit. But I'm just whatever, Anyway, what can you do?
So a tour preparation from Alice Cooper is going to be a widely different thing than a tour preparation for yourself. Do you find that it's easy to learn like if you're going out and doing a tour with Alice or whomever, or if somebody else is asking you, do you find it easy to put together a vast amount of material quickly? Is that something that's in your wheelhouse of being able to? Everybody seems to have a different approach to when they're learning new material for tours and things like that.
Yeah, well, I had to learn 20 something songs for Alice. So that was challenging because I was on the road, in Australia. And then after every show, I'd be learning the songs. And then I couldn't really spend time with the family because I was learning the songs. And then having the hit, I was like, oh, the whole thing was just crazy. But yeah, I mean, I put time away. And then for me, I like to learn songs really well, so it becomes like muscle memory. So that way when I'm out there, I'm not even thinking about the parts. It's like just second nature. So you just play along. And that's what I was doing every night, just like playing along to all the new tracks. And obviously some I'd played before, with Alice, the classics, but the newer stuff. And then with my new material, what, it comes pretty, because I wrote the songs. So it's kind of like I go over it a few times and then we get, so, and then the parts, with the band and whatnot, we rehearse. We don't really over rehearse because I like to keep it sort of, not overthought or anything. And it just sounds too sort of like, you want it to sound good, not too perfect, with some parts, and for the players to do their own thing. Cause I love, for them to bring their own personality to the parts as well. Mm-hmm. Everyone's so different, and if something sounds completely off, then I'd be like, okay, dude, you can do that. But usually the musicians I choose, they have really good instincts, and so it's been really fun playing the shows we've been doing, and we're about to go to Europe and do a tour over there, play some big festivals. Really excited about, and it's been a minute since I was over there. I think the last time I was in Europe was opening for Bad Company.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the exciting thing for a songwriter like yourself is how these songs are going to evolve on the road. The kind of natural evolution of things, certain solo sections are just the feel of the tunes. Mm-hmm. Solidify. Maybe do you find that that's the case sometimes, that it's maybe at the end of a tour, you look back and go, wow, that tune is really maybe something a little different than I had in mind when I tracked it. It's kind of evolved into a new thing.
Yes, absolutely. A lot of songs I write and then we start playing them live before we record them, like First Time Blues. We're playing that song before I really actually got to recording it properly. And it took on, like, I don't know, just with the changes of the chords and the voicings and whatnot and some of the stuff, it just sounded better from when I demoed it out to taking it on the road, playing it live, playing different parts and sort of like chord voicings, I said, and the solos and whatnot. It just sounded different for sure. And I think that that's the thing. Sometimes songs take a minute to evolve into what they should be, and then others are instant, and you could just capture exactly when you write it, and that's what it should be. But then, you just want them to, every song that I write, I want it to be like, especially if I'm putting it out on a record, for it to be received properly. You know what I mean? And so you look back going, okay, yes, I could have done it differently. The worst thing is to put out something and go, oh, damn, I should have done that, and it's already out. Can't take it back because it's out in the world. So yeah, it's, I don't know. But then again, it's kind of like also like a painting. And my sister's an artist and she's always forever like changing things. She'll never let like a perfect painting go. She always wants to add stuff, or no, it's not good. I want to, and that's the same with song. Sometimes you can sit there and add so many parts until the cows come home, or re-sing it until you can't sing. And I'll play the solo so many times until I'm frustrated and annoyed, So there's a line, and you got to go, okay, make peace with it, be done.
I think that's the beautiful thing of having somebody like Kevin, is because Kevin knows the artist that he's working with so closely that he can kind of help massage things in certain directions and get to a place where you hadn't even realized, for the benefit of the artist and the benefit of the song. He seems really adept at getting to know and getting inside the heads of the people that he's working with. You know, whether it's Joe or yourself, or he's really, or even the guys in Dream Theater,
Yeah.
really masterful at knowing and being able to predict what's going to be the best thing, even if the artists themselves don't realize that.
Yeah. No, he would tell me, I think we got it. I was like, okay, cool. You know,
Yeah.
that gives me reassurance because sometimes I'm like, should I do that again? He goes, no, we got it. I'm like, okay, great, great, awesome. So when he says it like that, I'm going, okay, moving on. So if he's like, no, I'd try it again, then I'm like, all right, totally. Because the voice in my head's always like, do it again, do it again. It's never good enough. I'm my own worst critic, I think. You know, it's like I think that you know, you always want to be your best, and in my mind is always like so much more to learn, so much more to do, and you know, be as an artist, and you know, songwriting and whatnot, singing and guitar playing, everything. Forever searching. I think that's what makes me always feel like I'm like still 15. Like I'm not going to grow up anytime soon. I still feel like I'm 15 years old. You know, hippie in my room playing guitar, and I sort of keep my environment like that.
Yeah.
Here in my house, and where, you know, crystals, guitars, just things that really inspire me. So I still feel like that, because I just think that, you know, you should never lose that childlike enthusiasm for playing, you know, and so you never want to become jaded or like over it, because, you know, that's the worst, that you keep that light.
Right.
It's really important. That's why it's so important to have the right people around you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I've changed a lot of the people around me because I thought I could, you know, change them, but no, you have to actually change.
Yeah, that's a tricky thing, trying to change other people. Yeah, so you're right.
Yeah,
That
and that's the thing, because I'm very like, you know, come in, it's all family, it's great vibe, and then you find out, oh, this person wasn't so right for this situation, and maybe they're right for somebody else, and all that. But you know, you got to find your tribe, and that makes a big difference with the band, business people around you, everything. And I always say that to a lot of young artists that come up to me and ask for advice. I'm like, always surround yourself with people that lift you up, that never make you feel anxiety or weird, or because you got enough of that. You got enough, you know, stuff to do. And you know, it's long days. It's a lot of, I mean, for me, it's traveling and all that kind of stuff that surrounds a show or surrounds recording or all that. That's what you get paid for. You know, it's not the actual, you know.
yeah, we get paid to travel. We would play for free, but we need to get paid to travel.
Yeah, and that's the fun part and everything. It's just like the traveling and the, you know, just everything else that goes around it. It's a lot, and especially this last run I did was back-to-back shows in Australia, then straight from Australia to Dubai and Saudi Arabia, then all the way back here, and it was like almost 80 hours worth of flying, you know, within half.
Crazy.
So it was pretty crazy. Yeah, and I sort of injured myself, so that's the universe going, you got to pace yourself, you know. So
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. That's true. But I like what you said about, you know, the surrounding yourself with positive people and positive energy, because as songwriters, all the things that come to us usually come to us when we're in a more pure state, and you never know when things are going to come, a chord progression, a lyric, a melody, and that sort of thing. And keeping that conduit open is really important. And it seems like that's what you're describing is the best way for you as an artist to live, for those good things to come to you.
yeah, and it really is a thing where it's like when you're on that frequency, right? You attract things, and I'm very much about, you know, manifesting and sort of like, especially, you know, if you have the right intention behind something and you truly are excited about it, and for things to come together and to fall into place in life, what I've learned is that you've got to have that real innocence and have that, you know, clear channel of just, yes, this is going to happen. Yes, I want to get this song done, or whatever it may be, you know. You got to have just, yeah, that frequency going, not this sort of low vibe, because some people come in and they're just, you know, I've noticed it a lot actually as of late too in this business, that people are over a lot of stuff. They come at you for things, and it's like, is weird. It's crazy being an artist. It really is. A lot of people don't even know half the things that go on behind the scenes. They see all the flash and the cool stuff on social media, but yeah, you endure a lot, and you got to. It's like water off a duck's back. Sometimes you got to be that way, because you can't let it, sort of stay with you, because yeah, it's a crazy, crazy world. But I'm very grateful to have amazing people around me, and amazing friends, and just artists I look up to and get the honor of, to jam with and everything. So I'm very, I think gratitude plays a big role in everything, especially being in this business and moving forward with what you love to do. It's just being grateful for every opportunity, every moment, people coming to your show. It's like, I don't expect people to come to the show. So it's like when you step out, especially going to Japan and having like this crazy audience, like 2 nights in a row, and going, man, like, okay, I haven't been here in a while. Or Australia, people actually showed up. I hadn't gone back home in like 5 years. Wow. And I was like, man, like, thank you, because they could be doing tons of other things and spending their money on other stuff, going to a nice restaurant or, whatever, but they came to see the show. So you get perspective. It's like going, just going up on stage and going, man, I'm going to put on the best show I can, because, this is you want to take people away, and it's entertainment. So that's my job. It's just putting on a party,
Exactly. Yeah. You seem like you have the kind of heart to pay it forward too, for younger musicians, younger aspiring girls, young boys, whatever, that are looking to you as their guitar, hero, whatever you want to say. It's nice to have a passion to play it forward.
It really means a lot, and especially like, getting messages or talking to different artists that, are really big artists too now. Like, I had a conversation with the artist Her, and she told me that she picked up a guitar, and I was a big influence on her when she was younger, and quite a few others. And I'm going, that's awesome. Like, because I heard, according to you on the radio a gazillion years ago when that came on. And I guess infusing a guitar solo on a pop single that was very commercial and was different. It was really different, and it just inspired a lot of girls and guys to want to pick up guitar and go, this is cool and fun. And yeah, that I don't even know when we put that song. I think it was 2009, I believe it was.
Yeah. Okay.
So with this new record that I'm doing, there's definitely some songs that are pretty commercial like that as well. So, hopefully inspire more, people to want to play guitar, because it's a lot of fun, even if it's not something that people want to do as a profession, as a hobby. It's awesome. It's like a meditation.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's a great. It can be your best friend. It can be your counselor. It can be everything. So, and I see you have 2 lovely Paul Reed Smith guitars that you're there. And I was kind of curious when you're.
My signature, my Lotus Bloom.
That's lovely.
And
Does it change colors, or is it looks bluish, purplish kind of? Really...
it's actually, which is crazy, the color of my first Jimi Hendrix T-shirt. So as I used to wear this tie-dyed shirt, and these were the colors, and it was very bright, and everyone would walk like 10 feet in front of me because they didn't want to be seen with me at the time. And we got everything with the lotus flowers, because my name means flower in Greek, so I put flowers and everything. And the lotus flower has a lot of meaning to me as well, because of the fact it comes through the mud, and it's just like, it's this, beautiful flower, but it's like you got to go through a lot of stuff to get to the light. And I feel like once you get there, you just stay there, and never want to go back. So it's kind of this guitar just embodies a lot of different things, which has a lot of meaning to me. And Paul did an incredible job. He's
oh my God, just gorgeous. And Paul is yet another wonderful human being to have in your orbit. He's just a incredible guy. Oh,
Yeah, this
that's
is,
the guitar that I'm probably the most familiar with. That's gorgeous.
I've had this one for a long time actually, and this is my workhorse. I'm kind of giving it a bit of a rest right now because I've used it to death. So it's having a bit of a rest, and then this one here I've been using a lot as of late. So this
Nice.
is
Yeah, I saw that in the video. That's really
yeah,
nice.
and I love this one because it just sounds really good, and I like the white because I haven't really
Yeah.
used since Alice Cooper days, and there was blood all over it when I was playing with him. So this is this one sounds really special, and it's kind of my lucky guitar. I use it for Rock in Rio
Okay.
and written a bunch of things it's doing. So
Yeah, in the I think it was the video for First Time Blues. I was watching you, and I didn't realize that you were not using a pick, and I was like, man, that was a really cool riff, and I was like, it's really neat to hear somebody that is adept at both the hybrid picking or either bare fingers or a pick. That's a
well,
so much to be said for the tone that you can get from bare fingers.
exactly it's a difference in tone. I feel like it's warmer. Also, some riffs you just can't use a pick for, and plus I lose on my picks, so I had to learn how to play without a pick because picks and socks they go missing. I don't know what to tell you. They go
Yeah,
on.
I always look in the laundry for both, because my picks end up in the lint trap or my, yeah. But
Yeah,
you're right.
emptying out my dryer, and there's like all these guitar picks. I'm going, that's where they are. Okay, cool, awesome. So, but yeah, it's like a thing where sometimes I just play without a pick because I just can't find them. But thankfully, I got a nice delivery of a bunch of picks from Grover Allman, and a shout out to Grover because he has been amazing in doing my guitar picks for a long time. And he's from Adelaide, my hometown in
Nice.
Adelaide, Australia, and he's provided picks for me for years, Alice Cooper days, and also my own stuff. So yeah,
Is there a special something out of the ordinary, or is it just something that has a design that's specifically significant to you?
yeah, he does cool picks. Here's one of them, my purple,
Nice.
and they just write heavy picks. And he actually did a bunch for the Alice Cooper tour, which is pretty cool with Alice's,
That's nice.
which I may do something with. I don't know, charity thing or whatever it may be. But I just have a bunch of those. And he's just a great guy and designs them really well, and they don't break. I was with a pick company at one point where I was playing the picks and I would just break in half. I'm like, okay, this is not good. So
Yeah, it's not working for you. So I'm curious. I know there's many influences that you have, but Hendrix may be the preeminent influence for you. Is it hard to pick one album that kind of is like your go-to Hendrix thing? Album, I should say.
yeah, I mean, live at the Fillmore East, I love like the live stuff. That's the thing. And I've had the honor of working with Eddie Kramer on my other record I'm doing right now, which is we're finishing that in March. Cindy Santana on drums, Rhonda Smith on bass. It's like an all-female band of gypsies vibe,
Okay.
and very excited about that. We just played the halftime for the Raiders. We've been doing a lot of stuff, for the past year, and we're finally getting to that sort of finish line. And it's been an honor. And honestly, I mean, like listening to unreleased Hendrix stuff and talking to Eddie and Eddie dialing in tones that, I mean, this next record, my guitar tones is totally, I don't say totally, but kind of totally different from, my other stuff because like dialing it in, I'm using, strats, I'm using, different things. And he's amazing. I mean, it's just all the stuff that Eddie's worked on. And for me growing up listening to Hendrix and Santana was the reason why I picked up electric guitar, to be honest. And then, and he, just one note, Carlos, just, and you know what I mean? He's just an incredible human. And he's like family. And so, having his support means the world. And then listening to Carlos and then Hendrix and Stevie Ray. So all together, it really definitely, I don't know, it just never stopped searching. Their choice of notes, everything is out of the box. And Hendrix is wild. And the fact that he only had like 3 year sort of career too, which is insane, and he was so young. It's like a kid when he was doing it, all this innovative, incredible stuff, just changed the way that people listen to the guitar and view it and everything. So amazing. And there's so many things I want to still ask Eddie, but I try not to bug him too much.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I think the cool thing is Eddie's like the master of miking and getting a sound, this kind of this bigness with depth and using a combination of close and distant miking. But when it dials in a tone where it allows your playing to be just an extension of your voice, where it's just so dialed in, it seems like that would be just an incredible treat because there's no limitations to what you can do because it's exactly how you envision the sound.
absolutely, absolutely. He spends quite a lot of time, like, changing up different settings and what. I don't know what he's doing. It's like a mad scientist. I'm like, I film him adjusting all the knobs, everything. I'm going, this is awesome. It's so cool. And it's all, analog as well. We're doing it to tape, and there's a lot of cool things about this project. I can't say too much. What I can say is that I'm very excited when it's going to be released. I'm not too sure, but the energy is awesome. The whole vibe of it all. We can't wait to play shows together and for it to be something that's just like very special because it truly is all of us coming together and the vision for it and whatnot. So it's called Band of Three, and that's coming out soon too. So there's been a lot of recording being done as of late. I've been in the studio with my own stuff, and then that as well, and then it's just constantly writing. And I'm really looking forward to March and finishing it up. So
Yeah, that's amazing.
yeah.
What a rhythm section. Rhonda and Cindy are just incredible. So that would be very exciting. It would be a really amazing thing to experience live for sure.
Yeah, can't wait. We cannot wait to play more shows together. When we play, it's like this really cool energy because we're all friends, and it's a vibe. And I think that's what it comes down to is friendship aspect too, like being able to just hang out and write together and
Yeah.
just coming up with a sound, molding a sound that's
Yeah.
different.
I'm sure when you're giving advice to young musicians, and you are heading into the area of talking about what it's like, touring and that kind of stuff, because I think everybody that aspires to do that sort of thing wants to get to that place, but it's so crucial that that microcosm in the touring thing is harmonious and as family like as possible, because you get to know each other in a way that you could never get to know each other. In fact, I dare say you get to know bandmates as well or better than people who are in your own family, because you see for extended periods the inner workings of their situations, what they're going through, and all it takes is for one person that doesn't fit in that thing, and it can be a nightmare. So it seems like you're very wise and have all that dialed in as far as the people that you're associating yourself with and touring with and working with.
Absolutely. And when I was younger, I loved to go to the parties. I loved to do everything under the sun and have a good time for myself. And now that I am past my 20s, you sort of learn, but it's life, and I wouldn't change anything because I learned so much. I experienced things that was cool, and everything's an adventure and experience. And I would say to anybody, just have fun, work hard, do your best, and keep, the main thing, what you're going after, right up there, and go after that, and don't ever lose sight, and don't let other people tell you too much what to do. Listen with one ear, but at the end of the day, you got to listen to yourself, because I think everyone has different advice, which is cool, and that worked for them. But that's not going to work for you. You know what I mean? That's one thing I've learned. Like, everyone has advice to give, which is cool and all, but it's like, take some of it, but at the end of the day, we all have our own path, and it's a mold that, it's your own mold. Like, you can't, like, I could give advice to a young kid. I get a lot of people asking me, how did you do this? Can you help me with this and all that? I'm like, absolutely. I'll let you know, like, what you can do to make things a bit easier and better, but I can't tell you exactly how things fall in place, because it's a lot of luck involved too. you know, it's much as it is hard work and everything, getting calls to do things. It's like, I don't know. Sometimes I get calls and I'm going, man, that was really awesome. But I don't, you know, and it's the universe. It's just putting out that good vibe, always doing your best. And your best is always going to be different every day, from lack of sleep, disturbances of life, or if you're in a great mood or whatever it is, it's always going to change. And so don't beat yourself up over that, because every day is like new, and you got to, it's just perspective and keeping it in line. And believe me, I have a lot of people around that I turn to sometimes, because you know, or it be spiritual healers, whatever it is, I'm into that, because I feel like you always got to cleanse your energy to get back to who you truly are, to be at your best. And that takes a lot of shedding. So you're not taking on other people's things. And, you know, when you walk into a room, you stand in your own light, which is really important. And you're really set in who you are, because when I was younger, everyone wants to change you. Everyone wants to tell you what to do. And when I first got signed, you know, I felt like it was weird, because I did my first record and I produced it and I learned all the instruments and I had to play drums, you know, bass, everything, and write songs by myself and all that. And I love collaborating. But at the end of the day, it's like, you know, I came over here and they put you with so many songwriters, and some of the songwriters would be like, you know, you need someone else to write songs for you, or you need us. And at the end of the day, you don't need anybody. Like, you know, it's cool, but it's like you need yourself. Like, but they try to tell, like a lot of people will try to like tell you that you need them. And then you feel like not good enough or whatever it is. And that's a big thing, you know? So I always kind of go like, no, everyone's good enough. Everyone can write a song. It's, you know, it's like, and when you want to collaborate, you collaborate, and that's great. But, it's all, you need to just trust yourself and your vision, and keep at that, because when I've taken other people's advice too much, it's never turned out right. When I've taken my own sort of intuitive feeling about something and gone with that, it generally has turned out better than you know, listening to too many people, because yeah, there's ulterior motives and whatnot. And it's a crazy business. But I just say true to yourself, do your thing, and have the right intention behind what you're doing, why you're doing it. I do it because I love it. I do it because if you can write a song that helps somebody else, that's awesome. Inspire somebody else, that's awesome. Put on a show that takes people away from day-to-day, you know, reality, and gives them joy. I've met so many people that are like, thank you for, you know, helping me so much with your songs, like Courage, or According to You, I got out of a terrible relationship, or that song made me feel so much better about myself when it came on, and thank you for that. And that's what it's all about. You know, it's the heart of things, and connection, because music is about like connecting everybody. There's no divide. It's like you want to put on a party where there's no divide. Everyone just comes together, has a good time, leaves with that, you know, great feeling or inspiration or whatever it is. And I'm a fan of music, so when I go to concerts, I want to feel that, you know. So yeah.
Yeah, that the positivity is at the end of the day, that's the, you know, or the just putting it forward, being of a giving spirit. And, you know, I think you summed it up best when you said just, you know, thankfulness, or just being aware of the blessings, you know.
Yeah, I never take anything, you know, for granted. It's like everything that has happened, I mean, I'm like truly grateful for. I worked my ass off, but I'm truly grateful, because, you know, it's awesome to be able to do this for a living, to wake up every day and create music, go and play a show, come back home, hang out with my friends and cat and the people I love, and you know, and then be able to go back out there, tour some more. And this year is going to be really fun. There's a lot of stuff coming up that's really awesome, and you know, and also coming out with my amplifier, which has been an amazing thing, you know, being able to create that. And you know, bless Pat Foley, who sadly passed away. He helped me create this amplifier. Dear friend of mine. We lost him about a week ago.
Oh, I'm so sorry. It's terrible.
Yeah, it's a big part of the Ori verb and making that happen with Cliff Cooper at Orange. And yeah, he sadly left us. But we worked really hard on this amplifier, and it's done very very well, and people just absolutely love it because we really spend a lot of time on honing in on, just a tone of it. You plug in any guitar and it amplifies that personality of the, guitar and yourself. It's really honest amplifier. So with a lot of reverb, which I love. So
A lot of reverb, yeah.
yeah.
Do you favor just minimal effects or none at all, or what?
Yeah, I go through phases. So of just the wah straight into the amp,
Yeah.
or my pedal board, which has, like a flanger, it has a fuzz, it has a octave, it has everything. I like just chorus pedal, has delays. And then, I use that. I don't use it on stage because there's some evenings where I won't even kind of go near it. Another evening, everything. So, so it's good to have that. But
Yeah.
what freaks me out about having too many pedals is that I don't like it when, if you're playing like a really important show and like one chord is not plugged in or something happens on the pedal board.
Yeah.
It's just for anxiety. It's funny, before a big show, I never like worried, oh yeah, am I going to forget the song or anything like that? Or it's more about, is my strap going to fall off? Is one of the freaking pedals not going to work? Because that stuff always messes up shows. It's like, the last thing that comes into mind it comes to my mind is, oh, am I going to remember this? Am I going to do, that's the last thing, because everything else technical is usually what messes up a performance for me in the past anyway. So
Yeah, it's always the smallest of things that completely shuts things down, and you're in that moment. It's just the worst. But yeah, I know what you mean. Having things simplified and having it just being able to focus on performing.
just delivering. That's why I'm like, straight into the amplifier, just my wah pedal. We're golden, right? Not too much that could really go wrong except you break a string. But Ernie Ball strings have been great. They don't break on me, honestly. It's been a long time since I've broken a string. So, it's like just minimalizing the things that could be disastrous. So, yeah.
Did you model the orange amp after a particular? Was it an orange amp that you used and you just made that better, or was it maybe based on something that you were using, but you wanted that didn't have all the features that you were looking for?
Combination, actually. So the amplifier was already good. I really liked it. I was using the Rockerverb Mark III, and I really loved it. I was using the head and cabinet and everything, and then I wanted to make a combo. So I wanted something like, and then they had the combo already. It was happening. It sounded good, but I wanted some modifications. I wanted the reverb to sound different. I wanted the distortion to be different. Everything. I want it to sound just warmer, and it's a British blues amp. It really is. It's great. But and then a lot of heavy metal people play it too, so which is wild. But anyway, so I wanted to kind of make it more like this warm tone, and when the reverb kicks in, it sounds, it's this beautiful old like spring vintage reverb sounding. It sounds like an old amp. It really does. Yeah. I had the honor of spending time with Alexander Dumble at his house.
Oh wow, that's nice.
Incredible. And okay. So yeah, she always wants in on this, Miss Scarlett. And so yeah, I got to hang out with him, and man, like, what an incredible amp, creator and everything, and how passionate he was about tone. And he plugged me into the first amp he ever made, and it was like this wooden box. And I'll never forget that. I was over there with Bob Rock, and he was a dear friend of his, and Richie Zambora, and we sat around, and Dumble was just like playing through his amps and showing us stuff, and I was like, man, that's awesome. And I played through a lot of his amps over the years, and so I got to say I was kind of influenced by that tone as well with creating this amp. I'm a big Dumble fan. Vintage Marshalls as well, and so it's a combination. It's the orange combined with the other amps I plugged into and whatnot. And you're chasing sounds, you're chasing tones, and so we try to embody that with this amp. And the reviews have been great so far, so people are digging it, which is nice.
Yeah, can't wait to hear it. I fell in love with orange amps after seeing Ty Tabor of King's X. I was like, oh my gosh, that is just an amazing tone.
Yeah, they have a lot of body to them, and growl and edge, and then they can really, when you back them off, they're very sweet sounding. The tone, the clarity as well. They're just really well made. They really are, and that's why it's like using Paul Reed Smith guitars. I mean, they're incredible. Paul's such a detail orientated guy and innovator, and he should be really celebrated a lot more, I think, because of the way that he's so like incredible with creating these guitars that are so diverse. I'm a vintage sort of collector. I wouldn't say I've got that many vintage guitars, but I got into it a bit a while ago, and the first one I bought was in Japan. It was a vintage Kelly, and then from then on, it's kind of I got a 59 Strat from Norms. I got, and then it kind of went from there. And I've been gifted a couple of vintage guitars, which has been crazy. And then just kind of like trading stuff and just building my collection up of having just a bunch of old guitars that have that sound that you can't get from a new guitar. So if people see me playing Gibsons or Fenders, but they're 63s or they're 62 335s and whatnot, and they're my prized children, or whatever you like to call them, but these are my workhorses too. But I also am very careful with these too, because they're one-offs, and they're all made different. So I've had about 5 guitars stolen.
Oh my gosh.
Awful, because they were all very special to me. And one that I'm searching for right now, actually, that I lost quite some time ago, was a green PRS with zebra pickups, which I absolutely loved, and I was very upset that one went missing. But it's kind of like because I all have such personalities, and so I'm very much like a hawk when I play shows. I'm like watching the tech, going, "What are you doing with my guitars?" And I'll take the guitars off the stage up into my dressing room before the show, and then just 5 to 10 minutes before I go on stage, the guitars will come down, and be with them, because you never know. It's really sad to have to do that, but some people are not right.
Yeah, there's no worse feeling. It's a violation that is really hard to explain to somebody that doesn't play guitar.
Yeah, because you work really hard to buy these guitars, or create them and everything, and people just like to take off with them. So
Well, it seems like 2025 is just going to be yet again another amazing year with the new album and the tour and the new project that you have coming up. That's just so.
Yep, got it. Possibly also the Epiphone version of my Gibson as well.
Oh, nice.
Gibson coming out maybe at the end of this year or next year, but yeah, we're working on that too. So a lot of people have been asking about that on social, so I wanted to know that is in the works for sure. And yeah, so we got two albums coming out this year. So yeah,
a lot of love, a lot of hard work, a lot of patience, to allow it all to come together.
It never ends, and and I'm very grateful. Lots of stuff, that I'm doing as well with my vodka, which I just released as well.
See, that's something I didn't know. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, so I've got my signature here, so you can order that. It's available now America wide, and it's actually got.
I didn't hear the name. I didn't catch the name of that. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's just Orianthi vodka, and it's purple. It's a lavender flavored vodka, so it has like botanicals in it, which make you feel calm. And drink responsibly, obviously, the whole bottle. But it took quite some time. Writers and rockers, we got together and collaborated on this, and it's made in Canada, and it's a really amazing vodka, I must say. So yeah, that's that. As well, because I like to drink here and there. Why not?
Well, thank you again. So I can't wait to see you live and check out all the new stuff. Just
thank you.
An amazing 2025 for you.
Thank you. There. Much love, and thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Have a great week.
You too. You take care.
Thank you for tuning in to the Guitar Hang podcast, and a special thanks for Orianthi. What a wonderful conversation we had, sharing her incredible journey and her approach to guitar and some killer insights to the music world. If you enjoyed this episode, please do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss an episode of the Guitar Hang podcast. And hey, if you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, drop us a 5-star review. It really helps us get more fans to find the show. Don't forget to follow Orianthi and check out her latest music. Trust me, you're going to want to hear what she's been up to. And of course, follow me on Instagram and YouTube for exclusive clips, behind-the-scenes content, and more killer guitar talk. All right, that's it for me. Keep practicing, keep rocking, and I'll see you next time on the Guitar Hang podcast.